Binance acquired FTX. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable what has transpired. Nobody has seen this coming. Definitely not me.
Yeah, I guess I never saw that coming.
And a little backstory I just did in the previous video was that Binance and FTX have been in some form of partnership. Literally, where Binance was the first investor in FTX being a large exchange, and apparently now they're the last because as they were pulling out, and I don't know if this was a genius move by CZ, and I'm inclined to think that it was. While everyone else is playing checkers, this man seems to be playing chess and playing chess at a very, very high level. He put things into motion here, and I don't know them being competitors if this was all orchestrated so that he could buy FTX. I mean, CZ, CEO of Binance, already has heavy influence, highly reputable, and is the largest exchange in the crypto space. But now he goes and buys FTX. Just to put this in perspective, FTX actually has a football stadium named FTX Stadium. So they weren't small fish. So I don't know what's going to happen with that name. Well, I guess they're saved by Binance, but we'll see what happens going forward. But very, very interesting. But I just want to share a couple of things with you guys. This is what I woke up to, this tweet, and it just blew me away. So CZ's here, tweeted this afternoon, FTS asked for our help. There is a significant liquidity crunch, meaning FTX doesn't have the assets liquid enough to pay people who are trying to withdraw. So they ended up cutting off withdrawals. And he goes on to say, to protect users, we signed a non-binding letter of intent, intending to fully acquire FTX.com and help cover that liquidity crunch. We will be conducting a full due diligence in the coming days. Now, I was just like, what? Like, nobody has been talking, even hinting at some form of takeover of one giant taking over another. Absolutely not. So to see this, it's crazy. But here's what I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you guys something that I don't think too many people are, okay? And that's right here. Here's a letter that Sam-Bankman Fried sent out to the investors, okay? So he says, I'm sorry, I've been hard to contact the last few days. I wish I could have been more communicative during this process, but unfortunately I wasn't able to be. Things were coming together dynamically. He's like, we've entered a non-binding agreement with Binance to buy FTX. What does this mean exactly? So this is where things get concerning, right? Because if FTX goes bankrupt or becomes insolvent, like I don't know how many members or users they have on that platform, they're going to lose either all of their assets or they're going to get pennies on the dollar to get a return, and that's sad. I hate seeing that. But he goes on to say that he's like, what does this mean exactly? That's a good question. And unfortunately, I don't have a perfect answer for you because the details are still being hashed out. We'll keep you updated as we learn more over the next days and weeks. He goes on to say that our first priority is to protect customers and the industry. No, it's actually not, because you wouldn't be in this predicament if that was if that was your first priority. None of this would be happening. And he goes, that's been guiding what we do. No, absolutely not. Has not been guiding what you do. You would not have put your users in a position where this could be a possibility. You used your useless tokens. They had no utility as collateral, and that came to bite you in the butt as everyone started to withdraw all liquidate their positions. You didn't have anything to cover anything, and you needed to ask for help. Literally, if Binance didn't come through, these guys were toast. Okay, and I want to share one little thing here too afterwards, a unique bit of detective work that was posted by somebody else that I thought was very interesting, and I'll share high level. But let's go on to this here. He's like, we're optimistic that we'll accomplish all of those, which means that we'll soon be focusing on our second priority, our shareholders. investors, right? As being a part of that. Again, I wish I had more details for you guys right now. I don't yet. I like that's crazy. Users obviously are getting hammered, and now investors. He's just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. And he goes on to say, I don't know yet. I'll give them as they are hashed out. But protecting our shareholders is our highest priority outside of the non-negotiable ones. I'm not I'm not understanding what the non-negotiable ones are. I'm assuming he means the customers, but those are the ones that got smashed the most, right? I mean, by and large, investors, especially the larger ones, the institutional investors, while they could get hurt severely in this as well, and this could have a trickle effect where it starts to close down even more hedge funds and investors. It's a small guy that really gets smashed because these other guys from hedge funds will go on to lead other hedge funds. They'll go on to have other opportunities in the same sector. But the guy who has 50K, 100K locked up here, and he saved up years for that, he's toast. So I don't agree with that at all. He goes on to say, I'm likely to be quite swamped the next few days, so unfortunately, I probably won't have much time for a bit. He goes on to say that one of his other, employees will have some more time, and he's like, anyways, I'll write more of a retrospective later, when I have time to. I'm sorry I didn't do better, and I'm going to do what I can to protect customer assets and your investment. That's funny, right? That's a sad funny because because you would think that that would be top of mind going into this. You would think that an I'm sorry doesn't cut people losing all kinds of capital, even institutional money, right? They answer to somebody. Maybe they're out of jobs. Maybe the firm goes down. While certain people, or maybe even all of them, or a majority of them, do get jobs going forward, it still hurts. You didn't care about that. You didn't care about anything. So I don't buy any of that kind of stuff, and it's really sad to see that now. What's going to happen in the crypto space? Bitcoin's gone from 20,500 and it dropped down all the way into the 16,000s, and but it's come back up into the 18,000s, held kind of firm. We have not seen the end of this because there's a lot of investors involved. How much capital do they have on FTX? We could have some liquidations, some insolvencies going forward for some time to come. So I don't like to see that, but at the end of the day, did it bother? I mean, I don't have anything on FTX, but did it affect my mindset, my long-term goals when it came to the crypto space? No. I mean, if you don't have anything to do with that, you've never been hurt by it directly. This was a prime opportunity to buy some Bitcoin, to buy some ETH at much cheaper prices. ETH fell down to about 1200s, 1300s when it was up into the 1600s. So great opportunity. The what I wanted to share with you, the unique detective work that someone had posted was between the hedge fund Alameda Research and FTX, and how they're in cahoots with each other, they're partners, and actually how Alameda Research, the hedge fund, was actually going to go bankrupt in Q2 of this year, and and FTX saved them, right? When they shouldn't be doing that, right? So they did something with the tokens. They kind of auto vested Alameda Research's investment so that they could get all their tokens, and then Alameda Research could sell those tokens on the exchange, have some capital so they can save themselves. But in the process, as they did that, FTX got hurt quite a bit because they didn't have those tokens themselves. And then as the price dropped, as the market crashed even further, and then people started to withdraw even further funds from the platform, it was just a snowball effect. And now FTX couldn't do anything, and Alameda Research can't save them. So it's really a roundabout way for both entities to be out of the picture. It's a lot of jobs, it's a lot of capital, And it's a sad thing to see. But but this is part of the growing pains. I know there's all kinds of people outside of crypto who are coming in smirking, making condescending remarks, but this happens all the time in traditional markets. You got hedge funds who are over leveraged. They're shorting certain stocks, they get wiped out. We just had a few, was it last year? A few billion-dollar family offices and firms that got put out of business. So this is something that always happens there, but because it's not highlighted the same way, there's no hype about it. You don't hear about it, and even if you did, you probably don't even pay attention. So unfortunately, there's more to come, but there's also more details to come. This will be a good thing long term. We will be clearing out all of the bad actors, or at least the majority of them, right? And we're just going to keep building and how to safeguard from this happening as we move forward.